Okay, let's begin our session for today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. My name is Mariam Nampima. I'm your trainer today. Here with I'm a trainer with Africa on It, and I'm here with a colleague of mine who's going to moderate the session and is ready to respond to all questions you have in the chat box. His name is Pius Orono. You're very welcome to the session. Thank you for sparing the time to join us today in this afternoon on a Friday. And please use the chat box. Tell us where you're joining us from. Tell us how is business, how is everything, and tell us by the end of this session, what do you expect to achieve? So share with us your expectations, whatever you know, comment or anything that you'd like to learn next, share with us in the chat box. And my moderator will be there to share with you as well and respond to all questions. And once again, welcome to our session for today, which is planning to implement Google Workspace across your business. Okay, so let's start our session today. Those are our three main agendas for today, and the first one is going to be how you can discover Google Workspace, how to boost communication across your business, and how you can leverage tools to increase collaboration. So that is what we are going to look at in detail. So brace yourselves and let's start rolling. So with Google, we have quite a number of trainings that put in place for you. And currently, there's a Google Hustle Academy that is running, whereby you're given a trainer and a mentor, someone who's going to walk you through a number of topics for your business, branding online, digital marketing, anything that is success. So in the chat box. So go ahead, sign up, and yeah, you'll get to experience the best Google has to offer. Okay, so we'll begin with a question. We'll begin our session with a question, and it's which tools or what tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? So share with us in the chat box. Which tools are you using with your teams to collaborate and communicate? Uh, I can use some of the examples that most of the businesses are using currently. For example, if you've ever heard of Slack, that is one of the tools that businesses are using to collaborate, to manage teams for CRM and what. So we have emails. That is also one of the tools that businesses use. We have instant messaging. Some use video calls. So you can share with us and tell us what tools you are currently using in your business. Okay, so as you share with us that, let us continue into the session. So let's go to our very first agenda for today, which is discovering Google Workspace. And when we are talking about Google Workspace, do you currently use what you hear we are talking about Google Workspace? Is it something that you've heard about? And are you currently making use of it? You can again provide your answers in the chat box. Tell us, have you interacted with it before? Are you using it? Or is it something that you've actually never heard about? So let's explain what Google Workspace is so that you can understand it better. So when you talk about Google Workspace, it's called Google Workspace, but those days back, it was referred to as G Suite. So when you hear someone say G Suite, don't be worried that he's talking about something that is out of this world. It's the same thing as Google Workspace. Okay, it's one of the digital workspaces that are out there, which enable a number of businesses and organizations work with their teams. So it's actually in particular collection of a lot of tools that you're going to see as we go ahead into the training. Like for example, there are spreadsheets, there are slides, and It enables you to store a lot of data and files. So we're going to look so much into this as we go ahead. And as I was saying, these are the tools. Currently, what you're seeing on your screen, those are the tools that we are talking about currently. They are part of Google Workspace. It has a number of tools. Some of them are actually not shown here, but it has many. Some you've interacted with, some you haven't interacted with. Okay, so we have the first one. You can help me actually name a few that you're seeing right now. Just help me name a few, as I also name from the start. So you have Gmail. So most of us have interacted with it before. We have calendar, we have Google Drive, we have Google Meet. There is Google Sheets, there is slides, sites, forms. So there are a lot of other tools, and we are going to look into each one's functionality as we go ahead. So you shouldn't be worried. If you see an icon that you don't understand, we are going to look into it in detail as we go ahead into the session. Okay, so when we're talking about functionality, we are saying each of these tools have been developed by Google, but each of them has a function to serve. They are trying to solve a problem. Okay, so when we talk about functionality, we mean that all these tools are here to help us create documents and presentations. They're here to help us record, analyze, and present data, brainstorm ideas, manage projects and store files, and also to communicate globally. Each of these, we're going to look at it one by one and understand if we are talking about Google Workspace helping us create documents and presentations, how do we do that and which icon do we use? If it's recording and presenting data, which tool exactly are we going to use? And also, how do we use it? So let's go straight to the very first functionality, which is creating documents and presentations. So Google Docs and slides can both be used to create documents and presentations. Okay, with Google Docs, let me show you something. So when you're talking about Google Docs, it's more like if you've interacted with Word, Microsoft Word, that is similar to Google Docs. Okay, so it's just about word processing, how you can create and edit text with your documents, and then Google Slides. This is used for presentation. Okay, slides you create as you're going to do a presentation. You can create and edit, you can polish, and actually when you open these tools, you find a lot of templates have been developed for you, and you can choose from one of the templates that is already available, or you can actually create one from the start. So let me show you something as we go ahead. Give me a minute. Okay. Okay, all right. So I hope you can see right now on my screen what I'm sharing. So this is when you click on this icon right here in the corner, it's going to lead you to all of these templates that you can make use of. So within this dashboard, there's actually a lot of information that you have saved earlier, but also you can create documents within Google Sheets. So this is Google Sheets, and let's see. So if you want to access any other tools from Google, there is a cube here on your right corner, just next to your profile, and then you can choose from all of these tools that Google has for you. For at your disposal, all of them that you can make use of while you're working with your teams. So when we're talking about Google Docs, it's right here. So you can just click on Google Docs. So this is how it appears. If you've not saved any document before, it appears with a blank and some templates that you can make use of. Okay. So if you've saved other documents, maybe some time back, you can scroll down and you see all the documents that you have ever saved. Okay. So that's how you can get to find Google Docs. That is how you can access Google Slides. Let's see, Google Slide is also right here, and Google Sheets. So that is how you can access all of these tools for you to use, and most of them actually free of charge. And all of that is there to help you collaborate with your teams as you're working. So let's go back to our slides and continue. Okay, so now that you've understood from where you can get these tools, how you can access these tools, and how you can use these tools to create documents and presentations. So Google Docs is for documents, and Google Slides also helps you in creating documents and also is for presentations. Okay, so that's noted. We can continue to the next tools where we have Google Forms and Google Sheets. I've just showed you what where you get Google Sheets from and how Google Sheets looks like. So Google Forms is actually also one of the tools that is going to help you record data. So it helps you collect data in that you're going to create a form with Google and add all the questions that you want. For example, if you're sending this question to, I mean, this form to let's say an organization, you're collecting data or making research. So you're going to be able to create a document where you add all the questions, everything that you want, and customize it, add your logo, and then send it out to WhatsApp groups or send it out to people. So whenever they fill in and submit this document, all information comes into Excel, into Google Sheets. Yes, all information is stored into Google Sheets, and you can access all of the information that has been filled in by these people. That's Google Forms. And Google Sheets, it's also uh, another tool for helping you to have your data in one place, to record your data, and also to help you present it. So you can go to the benefits of Google Workspace. We are going to look deeply into the benefits, like we've looked into the functionality of different tools. So let's also break down the benefits of some of Google tools, but relating to the of Google Workspace relating to the tools. And the first one we have is increased collaboration. We have improved communication. We have smarter working, and we also have enhanced security. So let's look at each of these benefits individually. Okay, when you talk about increased collaboration, how does Google Workspace help you with collaboration? So Google Workspace helps store a lot of information. Okay, it stores all this information in the cloud, and it enables you to share documents and files with ease. Okay, you can simply share a file URL via email or via any other communication platform you use, and you can restrict editing access. Okay, not you cannot you can say that, okay, this is my colleague Pius, I want him to have editing rights to this document, and add him to that document, in that he can add and delete and add anything that he sees is needed in the document. Okay, he can. And if you don't want any other person to be able to access this information, it's easy. You can also restrict that access, in that even if he gets that link you have shared, that URL, still that person will not be able to access that particular document. So that's how it is with collaboration. You can add a number of people onto one document so that they can keep editing and changing a number of things as needed by the team. It helps you track changes, it helps you comment with ideas, and work with the whole team across the projects that you're working on. You can see who was the last person to edit that document, who edited that document, all that information is there for you when you're using a number of tools like Google Sheets. You are able to see all this information and Google Docs. Okay, so the next thing, let's look at how you can improve communication when you're using Google Workspace. So, like the tools that I have showed you earlier, Google Space has a number of them, all for communication. For example, we have Gmail, we have Google Meet, we have Google Current, we have Google Chat. We shall have a look at them later. So all of this is there to help you communicate. Most of us have interacted with Gmail, where you can send a number of emails to your teams, and you can receive emails from your team. Uh, there's Google Meet, where you're able to do meetings online, video, or someone can remove the video. There's Google Current, and then there's Google Chat, enabling you to chat uh, with everyone currently on the document. Everyone who's editing on the document, you can chat with them in real time. Okay, so let's look at how you can also work smarter when it comes to Google Workspace. Okay, so how can you work smarter on Google Workspace? Before I continue, let me pause a minute and see if we have any questions on the chat box. Okay, once again, welcome everyone to the session. I can see we have David. David, welcome to the session. Share with us what your expectations are at the end of the session. Welcome, Tina from Mombasa. Wow, we have Tina from Mombasa. Thank you for joining us, Tina. Johnson, you're very welcome. Thank you, Pass, for the job well done. Tatai, welcome to the session. Peace. You're all welcome to the session, plus Jen and Vosh. You're all welcome. Thank you for joining us. And like I said, go ahead, share with us in the chat box what your expectations are. Tell us if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. We are not leaving anyone behind. Like I said, anyone. This session is for everyone to benefit. So let's look at how you can work smarter with Google Workspace. And currently, as you can see on screen, that with Google Workspace, you can collect, analyze, and turn data into insights. Okay. You can streamline workflows and processes. It's easy for you to actually harness your data and knowledge because all of this information can be kept in one place. And if you have shared access to a number of your teams working on the same project, each of your team member is going to have access to this document. It's not about coming out and looking for, let's say you're the manager, and for someone to access that information, they have to go around the whole office looking for you, or the whole building looking for the manager, saying, ex-manager, I'm looking for this document. Where is it? I can't find it. So if you have all these documents in one place and you share access, either view access or edit access to your teams. Okay, it's going to be easy for you to work smarter. They all have access. They don't have to waste time looking for those documents everywhere. The same exact files. Okay, no changes. So that is one way that you can work smarter with Google Workspace. So last but not least, let's look at security. Security, one of the things that is really still disturbing people out there. And how does Google Workspace help you to secure and store files and data? Some of us, let me say some of us, because I've also ever experienced it. When you have a computer or you have your phone can be stolen anytime. And also your computer, it can fall down or water uh, someone can pour water into your computer, or your phone can accidentally fall into water, and you end up losing all your information, all of it, because you've been storing each and every document, each and every contact onto that gadget. If it falls into water, that's it. You've lost each and everything. You've lost each and every document, whether important or not important, it's all gone. But if with Google Drive, actually, it's going to be easy for you to have access that even if your gadget is stolen, you're going to find your documents safe and secure the same way you left them. So even when you're saving your contacts on the phone, make sure you're saving them on your drive, on your email, cause in that way, even if the phone is stolen, you buy a new phone, it's going to be easy for you to get back those contacts. You've lost nothing. Okay, that's how secure files are when it comes to Google Workspace. It actually also helps you with you can use an integrated cloud identity feature. Okay, you can manage users, set up security options, even if it needs to set up a two-step verification process, you can do it as long as you have Google Workspace. Okay, so now that we've understood the benefits of Google Workspace, let's look at how we can set up our accounts, our Google Workspace accounts. Those are the steps currently you're seeing on your screen. We're going to go into detail one at a time. So the first thing that you have to do, my moderator will share a link with you down there if you have a domain. So the very first thing is for you to visit that link on your screen, the one that my moderator is sharing. So visit that link, and once you've done this, click Get Started. Okay. Immediately open it, you'll be able to see that button of Get Started and follow the steps that you're seeing on your screen. And um, when you click on Get Started, the next thing is to enter your core business details. That is very important. Put in your business name, add the number of employees, and add your location. And after that, continue. Add your contact details, the first name, last name, and email address. After that, choose a domain. Okay, either one you've bought or a suggested domain, and then update your business address. Choose a username and also a password for you to use. So those are the steps that we've been looking at. So after you've done all of that, now that you have an account, the next thing is to get set up fully. And we are going to see how, like, the next thing is for you to create a business email address. Okay, you need to create a professional email address now that you have an account with Google Workspace. Create a professional email address. Let's say if you've ever seen someone sending you an email and it's let's say info at africa118.com, or sales at africa118.com, or mariam at africa118.com. So that is all enabled because you have an account with Google Workspace. Okay, after creating that email, it acts as an admin email that is going to uh, have control over everything that is happening in the dashboard of your Google Workspace. So you can create a number of emails for your teams. You're not limited. You can create as many emails as possible, and you'll have access to a number of to a much wider storage capacity, and you'll be able to migrate all your information and data as long as you've created these emails. Okay, you can migrate all information that you have and you feel that it's safe, and it really needs to have backup and safe storage. Okay, so now that we've seen the functionality, we've seen the benefits, and we've seen the how part of setting up Google Workspace, let's see if we have any questions so far in our chat box. Okay. Okay. Okay, I can see Jane, yes, yes, Jane. So Jane is asking us what is Google Chat. Okay. So Google Chat, it's also one of the tools that's used by that's in Google Workspace, that allows you to chat with the people that you're currently working with on a document. So if I can show you what Google Chat is in a minute so that you're able to understand what it really is by the time you leave this session. Let me just show you what Google Chat is. Okay. So now that you see, I've opened Google Sheets right now. So let's just open one blank document and we see. So this is uh okay. So this is Google Sheets right now. It's empty. We've not used a template. So you can see here uh an option for commenting. So here you can type each and everything that you want anyone on the document currently working on the document to see. So you can type in whatever comment that you have, and also you can tag people. Okay, in case you want uh, Mariam to work on the document, you can add the comment and add the person that you want to work on the document. Okay, so I hope you've seen that. Okay, so now we can go back to our slides. Google Chat has an app actually. You can download it on Google Play Store. In that, it's connected to all tools that you use as long as they are part of Google Workspace. You can get notifications in case someone has commented on on a document, in case you've received a message. So it brings you notifications on your phone if you've downloaded the app. So that is how Google Chat is actually very helpful to you as a business. You'll get information from all team members. Okay, so that said, let's look at how you can boost communication across your business. We're still on the same topic, so don't worry. So let's look at how you can make use of those tools to boost communication in the business. So as we go deep into our topic, share with us which tools have you been using. Okay, which tools have you been using, and if you've been using Google Workspace before, which particular tools within Google Workspace have you been using to communicate with your teams? So share with us in the chat box, and we'll get to know how you have been using those tools. So we are going to look at each of these tools one at a time. And the good thing is that even Google Chat is there. Like I was explaining it, that is how the tool looks like. So these are the tools that are used for communication. As you can see, there's Gmail, there is Google Meet, there's Currents, there is Chat. All of these are here for you to make use of. But with Gmail, it's easy for you to communicate globally. You can send an email, or in case you have a particular message to pass on to your teams in whichever country, you can send to them. You can send files in case you have a document you want to attach. If you have maybe a group of people and you'd want them to get the same communication with one email, you can still create an email listing. Okay, an email list and a mail list. Yes, you can still create a mail list, which is a group of emails. In that, if you're to send uh, an email, if you have a number of people that are to receive the same message, you just have to send an email once, and all these people will get the email. So you can, with Gmail, you actually have access to an integrated calendar. In that, if anyone is to schedule for an event or to schedule for a meeting, you are going to get a notification on your Gmail. That is how useful Gmail is when it comes to communication. Okay, so that understood, we can continue. Before I forget, with Gmail, it's very important for you to have a Gmail, okay? Because it is going to help you build customer trust if you have a company mail. Let's say if you're working with people, instead of sharing mariam at gmail.com, and then you share with someone mariam at africa118.com, it is very professional for you. Okay, I can even trust and know, okay, this is someone that I can really work with. At least it shows that there's some professionalism in their operations. Okay, with having a Gmail, uh, a professional email address. Okay, so next let's look at Google Meet. Let's look at Google Meet. If you've been using if you've been having meetings a lot, some of us have interacted with Google Meet, and especially in those times when we were working from home, most of us have to turn to working uh, online, having meetings online, and Google Meet came as a very, very, very helpful tool. So you would have video meetings, or you could just remove your video and leave it as just audio, but when you're in the meeting. So how is Google Meet helping us? It's helping us actually do away with like keep our teams connected every time on video conferencing. You'll have your teams connected. It's not like, it won't feel like you're so away, you're like you're all dispersed in different places. At least it brings all your team together. You can take advantage of that secure. It's actually secure by design when you talk about Google Meet. Google users are secure users to, so when you actually, someone sends you a link, um, when you click on that link, you have to be allowed into that meeting. Okay, that's how secure it is. Not everyone will join that meeting. You have to be allowed in by the host. Your meeting stays secure, and all that information stays secure within the team that you've chosen to be part of the meeting, wherever you are, whether using a computer or a phone. Okay, so let's look at currents. When you talk about Google Currents, what do we actually mean? So with Google Currents, it's more like it has some similarity to Google Chats. It helps you engage with employees. You can have meaningful conversations. You can work towards a common goal when you're working with Google Currents. Okay, you can communicate your ideas and instantly get feedback. You can share ideas with employees. You can gather input through a number of focused discussions on particular topics. So with this tool, you can also have that collaboration and connection with your team. So remember, all these tools we are looking at are for communication. How is Google Workspace going to enhance communication with your teams? Google Chat. So Jen had asked about Google Chat and how Google Chat helps. So that is right now what you're seeing is a tool for Google Chat. It is going to help you share direct messages, okay, in group conversations. So with Teams, it's easy for you to communicate in real time, and someone responds. It helps you to securely connect with anyone at work. Okay, you can chat in a group, you can share files and tasks. So chat is offered to Google Workspace customers at no additional cost. You can make use of it. That is how Google is willing to go to enhance communication between teams in organizations. So now that we've seen Google Chats, we've seen Google Currents, we've looked at Gmail, and we've looked at What was our fourth communication tool? There's Gmail, there is Google Meet, there is Google Current, and there's Google Chats. So all of those are there to help us in communicating with our teams. So now let us go to the tools, to the tips that are going to help us in maximizing our communication. So aside giving us the tools, they're actually also giving us tips on how we can ensure communication is maximized. And we're going to look at this in detail, but first let's look at how you can recreate in-person communications, and then we can go to stay organized, create emailing lists, and then also on how to set up projects or team rooms. Let's first look at how you can enhance in-person communication. Okay, so with Google Workspace, it's very easy for your teams to communicate. Okay, you can schedule regular team calls. You can schedule check-ins via Google Meet and Hangouts. You can connect with colleagues everywhere across the globe through Gmail. It's easy for you to brainstorm ideas, work on team projects, and hold virtual events. You can even all of these things. It's easy for you to do them with with a mobile phone or just desktop devices. As long as you have a computer or a phone near you, all of this is going to be very easy for you. You can download an app from one of the tools of provided by Google Workspace. If you need Google Chat, you can just download it. Okay. If you need Google Meet, you can just download it. If you need Gmail, you can still download it. So all of these tools are there for you to use on a phone or on desktop. So the second tip we are looking at is for you how you can stay organized. Staying organized on Google. Let's look at Google Calendar. Have you ever interacted with Google Calendar before, and how have you been interacting with it? Has it been helping you to keep yourself organized? The good thing with Google Calendar is that it is going to help you improve communication across all the teams you're working with. Okay, you can create an multiple team calendars to track meetings, training sessions, vacations, and more. Okay, it is going to help you improve visibility by ensuring all team members remain connected. So with Google Calendar, it's actually going to be easy for you to know what is happening at this particular time, so that you don't get that disorganization of having 2 3 meetings at the same time. It helps you also spend less time planning. Okay, let's say someone wants to have a meeting with you, and then you're like, oh, okay, fine. Let just send me an invite. So in case that someone sends you an invite and you click accept, that you agree, that invite is going to be logged directly into your Google Calendar, and you'll keep getting notifications of you have a meeting at this time, you have an event at this time. So that is how you can keep yourself organized when it comes to Google Calendar. You can keep editing. Let's say you've made a mistake, you can just go to your calendar view and you edit. It's that easy. Okay. It's even easier because the app is there on Google Play Store. You just have to download it and access it on your phone. Let's look at the fourth tip, and our fourth tip is going to be how to you can create team mailing lists. Okay, so like I said, right now we are talking about how you can create team mailing lists, and how is it going to improve communication? How is it going to maximize communication? A team mailing list, it works in a way that you're creating a group, Google groups. So each of these lists that you're creating, you're going to add emails like sales at africa118.com, Mariam at africa118.com. send status updates with one email and everyone will receive that update. You can copy all the people that you want to see that email. You can share resources as long as you have created a team mailing list. And you can, in case you have a communication to make out there, let's say to the whole organization, if you have a mailing list, you just have to just one tap and your communication has gone to the whole organization. And you can increase visibility and foster communication, and that is what I've been talking about. As long as you have a mailing list and you agree that all of these people, I want all these people to have visibility to these particular documents, it is going, anyone who's part of that list is going to have access to come and view, and if editing is needed, they'll also be able to edit that document. Okay, mailing lists done. So we look at our fourth tip: set up um, projects or team rooms. So if you've ever been, let's say, attended any conferences before, there is something that is usually done by the hosts. So they usually, like for example, when you're, okay, let me explain this differently in, let's say, in offline terms. So when you're having you've attended a training and you have the host in front talking and teaching you all of these things, and then after he says, okay, this is done, now let us break the whole attendees into different groups and teams so that they can brainstorm ideas, come up with a very good idea. So if you're a group of 30, a host can divide you into five five teams. Okay, a team of 5 members, and these 5 members each is sent to their separate room to have that discussion separately so that other teams do not eavesdrop. That is the same thing when it comes to setting up team rooms on Google Meet or Google Chat. You can create a room during that meeting so that your team members can go and interact with each other. They can go and brainstorm ideas amongst each other. They can encourage your team members to actually network with each other. In that way, they'll come up with the best ideas that are going to help in terms of your organization's success. Okay, so that is one of the things that is helpful and one of the tips of maximizing communication when it comes to Google Workspace. Okay, so let's go into we are going into another topic, but for now, let me just drop for a minute to go to the chat box and see if I still have any questions. So I see Vosh Church. Vosh is asking, is Gmail free? Okay, and my moderator has responded saying it's a chatting application within the tools of Google Workspace. You can chat with someone from the same doc. Oh, sorry, that is a response for what is Google Chat. Okay, so what was the question again? He was asking if Gmail is free. So, Mr. Voschach, yes, Mr. Voschach. All of these tools that we have been talking about, most of them are completely free of charge. So Gmail is free for you to use. Okay, it's there for you to keep on communicating with your teams. So except if it reaches to that point whereby you've added a lot of information to your Google Drive and it's full. That is when they give you a number of options for you to choose from. If you need bigger storage, if you need very much more storage than what you currently have, but just understand that Gmail is completely free of charge for you to use. You don't need to incur any cost. Don't let anyone lie to you about that. Okay. Thank you, my moderator. I can see you're doing a very good job sharing those links and also responding to the questions. So let's go into our next agenda for the day, which is how you can leverage tools to increase collaboration with your teams. And we shall start with a question like we've been doing. Which tools can you use on Google Workspace to increase collaboration? So we've looked at the tools that are going to help you in improving communication and maximizing communication. So share with us, tell us which tools can you use to increase collaboration. No answer is going to be wrong for the meantime. Just share with us. We are going to keep on going deep into it so that you can understand this better. So use the chat box, tell us which tools. And I'm talking about collaboration, okay? When we say collaboration, what do we mean? Okay, we mean those key ways of collaborating across projects and teams, brainstorming ideas, how your teams can share working files easier, make suggestions, how you can tag colleagues in case you have a particular task, and then how you can also track changes. That is what we mean. Those are the key ways of collaborating with your teams. And that is what we are going to look at. A number of tools are used in collaboration, and the first one that we are going to look at is the Jamboard. The Jamboard is going to help us in collaborating with our teams in this way. So if you're, let's say, I'm going to use an example of let's say if you're coming up with a compound, yes, if you want your compound to look very good, you want to give it the flowers, you want to give it uh, sculptures, you want to give it uh, you want to put in everything that looks that makes a compound look so good. Okay, so you can just come get a white paper. And when you get a white paper, you can start by drawing something. Let's say you can draw, okay, this is where my water tank will be. So any other person can come and say, look at the paper and say, okay, if this is where you want your water tank to be, how about you put, and that person draws on the white paper and says, how about you put here a flower garden? And then other one comes and says, how about you put here a water sprinkler? Then someone else can come and say, okay, all of that is done. How about you put here some seats where anyone can have breakfast? So that is how your teams can collaborate better with using a Jamboard. That is how a Jamboard works. All teams can come into one place and design. Let me just say, design a compound or come up with a very good idea that you can harness. Okay, so that is how helpful a Jamboard is. You can write, you can draw, you can search and insert images, you can drag and resize text, images. All of this you can use your fingers, you can sketch. So all of that using as a Jamboard. Like on the screen, actually, what you're seeing exactly is what you can do with a Jamboard. And Google Drive. Google Drive. So Google Drive is just a store, an online store. You're going to upload and put in files. If you have videos that you'd never want to get lost, if you have images, if you have important documents like a birth certificate, a national ID, your academic documents, organizational documents, all of this you can store on your Google Drive. And aside storing, you're actually going to be able to share these documents. Let's say you have a task that you want all people to work on in the project. You can just come up with a document, upload it on your drive, and when it's on your drive, you can add each and every person that you want to have access, or you can just share a link to that document. In that, all of these people are going to receive it, and they are able to access that document through that link. They can access that document through the link, and just know that you sharing this link doesn't mean that the person is going to have access to the whole of your Google Drive. No, you're just sharing a link for that exact document, not the whole of your drive. So that is Google Drive for you with collaboration. As long as you share a link and you give someone access, they're going to be able to collaborate, work on a document, add comments. Someone can say, "You've done it wrong here. Let's do it this way." So that, all that means your team is collaborating on any files that you have added to your drive. Okay, so another one is make suggestions and tag colleagues. Like I showed you earlier when I was showing Jen, I was showing Jen a chat button, okay, a chat icon. So if you have a document that has been shared with you, it's easy for you in case you see something and you really don't agree with it. But then, even if you don't agree with it, you're not supposed to remove it. You can just add a comment besides the document, okay? And tell the person that, or people or the team, that I think this one we can make it this way better, in that someone is able to see, okay, this is what she's talking about, but this is how she wants it to be, and then you can start brainstorming with from there on how you can make it better and suggest more ideas of how you can make it better. Or if you have a task on that particular document, let's say you're coming up with uh, a number of documents for the organization, and you want to work on a company background, you can give that task to someone and say, uh, you tag the person that you want to work on that particular part in the organization background. You can add at Mariam, and then you add a comment just below and say, please work on this, maybe at this particular time you want it to be done. So all of that you can do it when you're on Google Workspace, when you're using making use all of those tools that we've been talking about. Okay, can suggest changes, comment with ideas, and you can tag colleagues to increase visibility and also boost collaboration. Do you know that if you just go to that Google document and you delete anything you found, when if someone has not seen what you have deleted, it's going to cause a lot of disorganization and chaos, because people are not seeing what you have changed. They're just seeing that very thing that you have added. You're not giving them visibility to what was there before you changed. And what if that document, it's how they wanted it exactly. So that is important when you just come and add a comment, so that everyone is able to see what you're talking about. Okay, so let's look at how you can track changes when it comes to Google Workspace. The tracking changes, like I said earlier, you can see if you're collaborating with several people, let's say on a single file, it is very difficult to pinpoint who made, let's say, who made this change and when. But when it comes to all to let's say Google Sheets or Google Docs, it's easy for you to see, okay, this person is one who changed this document, and this is the time the document was changed. So you can keep track of all of these changes in the shared files. You can identify the changes immediately and who made the changes. It enables you to have view of all those edits made to the document. That's how Google Workspace is going to help you track changes. Okay. Okay, so actually, before we go to the next step, another thing that you should know as you're tracking changes, if you want to review um, changes, let's say if someone has changed something, actually you can note this down. The very first step when you open your Google Drive, let's say, okay, the very first step, go to your drive and open it. And the second step from docs, sheets, or slides, okay, you need to have access, edit access. If you have only view access, you cannot you cannot do what you're talking about. So click a timestamp to see a previous version of the file. Okay, in that you're able to see the previous version, and you also have access to to the version that is currently there. You can view who opened the file as well. You can view what changes the person has made and who you've shared a file with and who has commented. Okay, that said, I hope you've really understood what it means when you're talking about tracking changes and everything that we've been talking about. So let's see if we have any questions in the chat box. Oh, we have two more people that have joined us for the session. We have Mirembe John and E. Kapian Oropa. Welcome, lady and gentlemen, to our session today. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Okay, so I see we have no questions so far on the chat box. Let's see. And my moderator is really doing a good job responding and sharing those links out there. So please engage my moderator. Don't be afraid. We are all here to learn. Okay, so I've seen you have no questions. So let's wrap up today's session. Let's wrap up this session by reminding you that we have something good, a free bootcamp available from Google for you to take advantage of. My moderator shared the link and he's going to share with you the link again. It's called the Google Has Academy. You're going to receive a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. You will be attached to a mentor. He's going to guide you in a number of topics, okay? And a number of knowledge that you need. You'll be you'll be drawing water directly from a well. That is how good the Google Hustle Academy is. Which other company can give you a mentor? Okay, so let's go into the next step. You've learned Google Workspace, you've learned the functionality, you've learned um, you've learned about how you can make communication, how you can maximize communication. You've looked at the benefits of all of these tools and how each one is going to help you. What are your next steps? Is all of this knowledge you're getting just to know and leave it there? Share with us what your next steps will be. Okay. And today's session just now is just the beginning. We have quite a number of sessions that we hold, and they're here for you. We do this for you guys to be able to learn and get a lot of information that you can use in doing business. So when you get this information, don't just sit on it. Okay. Just share with us, what are you going to implement first? Are you going to get a Google Workspace account? Are you going to start using the Jamboard when you're brainstorming ideas? Are you going to start creating team rooms so that your teams can connect better with each other? Share with us in the chat box. And as you're doing that, you can find us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Twitter, we are at Digital Skills AF. AF is capital, D is capital, S is capital. On Twitter, it's Digital Skills AF. On Facebook, it's Digital Skills for Africa. And the 4 is number 4, like number 4. So on Facebook, it's Digital Skills for Africa. And on Instagram, it's Digital Skills AF. But the AF this time is small letters. Okay, so to all that have managed to join us and go with us throughout the session, we thank you so much for the time you have spared and for the effort. And once again, I am Mariam, your trainer for today, with my moderator. His name is Pius Orono. Join us for our next sessions that we shall be sharing very soon with you. And for now, thank you. Have a great day.